16-11 is the score line over on Cobble between SK and Cloud9. But as we move forward into Mirage, Cloud9 can hope that they're able to muster up and keep some of that T-side momentum we just saw them have on their way out of the door of the last map. Even though they lost, they still had something noteworthy to take away from that they should probably start T-side. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I hope that we don't see another 13-2 half in favor of SK. I mean, they did do well coming back and bringing it to a respectable scoreline, but, I mean, letting anyone have a 13-2 lead is probably not a recipe for long-term success.
Yeah, and ultimately, the first half they had there was rather, lackluster. For better words.
Yeah, it's Eric and I were talking during the break about like what could they have done differently on the CT side of Cobble. I mean, it's hard to have any kind of aggressions on that map. At least you kind of have to know what to do in a reactive setting, right? You can't plan it from the beginning of the round because there's very few opportunities where the risk-reward ratio is high enough, right?
Yeah.
Or low enough, rather.
And I was thinking for C9 on the CT side that they're a little too inactive, a little too passive, and maybe peek more. Just it sounds I'm against.
Yeah, we didn't see
more.
a drop boost one time. I don't even think we saw the long B like isolation play where you throw like the mollies deep in the smoke and whatnot.
Just a little more peaky.
Well, for years, I do believe Cloud9 avoided Mirage. But going into this, let me get some predictions from you guys now that they've started to play Mirage. So
yeah, I think they can take this one. I mean, I think if C9 wins it, it'll be somewhere, in the double-digit territory for both teams. But, I'll take C9 and Mirage. I think they're pretty good on it. They look pretty good against Nippity League.
Now, Eric, before you get yours in there, let's look at the Betway odds. And I don't want to say we've got training wheels for predictions right here, Eric, but we do. Looking at this, pretty close. So where do you stand?
C9 had the advantage. That's kind of a surprise, especially the track record that SK has over C9. But then again, it is Mirage. And Cloud9, they did have some life towards the end. So I think, I'm going to go with C9 as well.
I like it. And you know what? Me too. Hell with it. Let's go ahead and bring in our commentators now. Blue and Launders are going to be delivering the action, and I want you guys to just do that.
All right, well, thank you very much, Sana. It is time for our final map of the evening here, as we'll be diving into Mirage for our final map. Launders, what do we make of this map now after what we saw before? Cloud9, a little bit broken, obviously.
Yeah.
Having to kind of rally themselves to get back into the second map now.
For me, this is the pinnacle of NACS. I think this is like the best map that we could have SK, not just this last map, I'm talking about Mirage. This is like, I believe Cloud9, I don't know if, to me it's like their best map, but they have a new lineup. I think they're really, really good at this map. Their defaults are extremely strong. I think Stewie is really effing good at this map, and I think SKR as well. So I'm looking forward to a hell of a game. I actually anticipate Cloud9 will take this one, if only by a small margin, but I'm looking forward to both sides because I think both these teams are excellent on Mirage.
All right, well, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, so let's dive into it. Cloud9 start off on T side this run around here, and SK, well, they're going to have to start off on defense. Let's hope it's a little bit better what we saw back on Cobble. To start things off, Cloud9 go very quickly to the back B halls, lining things up. They've got that smoke. The Terex now getting ready to toss back in.
It's a connector to help with the cat split.
He's going to be throwing through underpass too, but look at that. Phelps with the aggressive stance and window. He's going to be able to move back in. Fur also shuts out the second kill. Fur goes in for another pickup too, and that's the bomb as well. Now dead on the ground. These last two so far away from the recipe here, and they're going to have to try and find a new way to get back into this, get back into the pot here. Force their way back into the fight. So now Tarek specifically is more so just making sure that no one from SK tries to push him into the apartments. It's doing the same, just from the other side of it here. Completely frozen. SK just shut them down, and that is not what Cloud9 wanted to start out this match.
I'm not sure if they're going to throw the connector smoke and then have someone come back to top mid to flash two players from underpass into connector, which is common to do, but SK called it out and just completely dookied on their whole strat. But 50 seconds remain, bombs picked up, 2v3, couple of kills come out, and some map control is regained. That kill could be important. I don't know if he wants to take it. Skadoodle doesn't focus on killing that guy on Cat, instead expect someone to come and trade. Now it's a 2v2.
All right, so another round is alive again here. Cloud9 do battle back and get their chance just by that slow, patient play. We've got Tarek is going to be grouping up here in a second with Skadoodle as they route back over to the site. We also have, I believe this is going to be...
They need that kill right away, otherwise this fast flank is... How's that even...
Yeah, no, I just realized that too. Why is he's number 7 on the radar, but he's number 8 on the scoreboard. I've never seen that before, so that really threw me off for a second. So, apparently someone DC'd.
They're not clearing this.
So that messed it up.
Are they going to be able to?
Oh, no, and he denies it. Another timer round. Actually, no, it doesn't become a timer round. They win it just by normal means. But Taco gets that double kill at the end of it, and that's SK taking control early on.
Oh, and yeah, someone's out. So that kind of messed up.
It was
the numbers.
automatic.
Automatic DC. I see. Messed up the numbers. Right. He was dead when he DC'd, so it's not going to be medic. He's just going to reconnect, and we'll continue. This is that was an interesting. I mean, it was almost a good comeback from Cloud9. They didn't really have a lot of time to clear out the B site. That's typically where you would go, is like the most versatile position on the B site to work from as a solo man there. That's where Taco was standing in the back pillar, and no, he did work from there. There was no way that our benchman could cover him. I'm surprised they didn't go and actually clear that before they tried to plant, because that's not only like one place that he could be, that's like a very common place that he could be.
I guess we are just waiting for automatic to reconnect here, so as soon as he's back in, we'll resume the game as is. SK do get that pistol run victory, and that will stand. So Cloud9 will have to fight from the backside here now. Hope that they can recover. No plant either, which is the important thing out of that one, as SK even are able to deny that, so no additional money goes in for Cloud9 that you just could force normally here into the second round.
Yeah, if Taco really wanted to piss them off, he'd just wait an extra 2 seconds. Look for that fight after time.
It's nice. He gave him that.
What a guy,
economy
honestly.
boost there. Yeah.
It's a quality gentleman.
Just not gonna mess him up that much at the beginning of the game.
That's rude.
Sportsman-like.
Yes. Fair play.
Alrighty. It's fortunate when this happens at the beginning of the map, so it's not a whole lot to talk about. Obviously, it's not a whole lot's happened yet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so this is one of the follies of not living in a team house. Tim's internet is down. At least if you're in a team house, everyone's internet's down at once.
Everybody shares the struggle now.
Yeah.
Now automatic just feels...
There's no solidarity.
He's probably panicking right now. He's already on the phone. Bring it back up!
Oh no.
Quickly!
You know how long those calls can take sometimes.
So yeah, just waiting for him to come back in, and then we should be good. But besides that, folks, if you missed the last map, I would recommend going back to check that out a little bit later, as that was definitely a close one there. It started off 13-2 in the favor of SK there. Just dominated their first half on T side, with Cloud9 only getting a couple, closer rounds off there. But in the second half, it was almost a flawless comeback from Cloud9, not letting SK pick up a single round until the very end there, when they ran 3 straight, and one of them was due to a massive mistake from Cloud9, where it's, as far as we can tell, they dropped the bomb and forgot about it, and then ran out of time when they went back to grab it.
Yeah, it's pretty dramatic way to lose. I mean, that would have been so easy. They just get the plant, they win the round.
I remember I was looking at the comments really quickly while we were in between the games. And so obviously this was just a comment, so I haven't been able to watch the replay to see if he was right, but it's saying that actually one player from SK looked like they were saving at the time too. So SK...
Oh, no, he's talking about, Fur was like the last alive, and he was just running back to save, because
he knew the round was
all
over.
His teammates are dead. And Tarek spotted him at the last second, and Fur won the duel. If Tarek had won that duel, he would have been able to win the round, and Fur would have just been like, why is this guy at A?
But yes, the unfortunate thing happened, and Cloud9 dropped that, and that pretty much lost the game for them. So now they end up going over here without that comeback.
Things happen, I suppose. If you look back at the first half, they would have had more opportunities to be able to to win rounds. Bad buy. There was the last round where Stewie messed up the 1v1, just like he couldn't do enough damage to that CZ. From Heaven. And it looks like we have five minutes.
All right, so apparently what is going to be going on, folks, is from the time that he disconnected, I believe, if this goes beyond the 5-minute mark, then Valence is going to jump in and play here.
And we'll go to a break, so we'll be right back by that time.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
I got it right, you can't stop the might. You should have took flight, tell them when I bring it home. I'll take the top throne, king when I bring it, I keep them yelling out. Yeah. Cause I can smell victory, 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 victory.
And welcome back again here, folks, to the ESL Pro League. We are back with the matchup now. Valens is stepping in as Automatic's Internet has not come back up yet, so he's going to be playing for now. We will note that if Automatic's Internet should come back up during the course of the match, he is able to rejoin the team. And obviously Valens can go back to the coach slot, but we do have to continue play, so let's jump back into it here now. And obviously, as you can see, we are starting from that 1-0 scoreline.
The only question is, do they have to use a pause, or do they just wait till Valens dies early one round, then quickly swap him out like you would in hockey, where you just like get him?
Just the power play?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure on the technicals, but I guess we'll figure that out when we get to it. Fur and Stewie will trade blows to start off this round. As you'll remember, this is a force buy from Cloud9 trying to equalize things, but they started off pretty well because not only Fur goes down, but Phelps apparently is eliminated there too due to a shot from Tarek.
Yeah, this is a big win for Cloud9 already. Two scouts is gonna kind of hold them back a little bit in this 4v3, but it's not too bad. I think this is really going to come down to whether or not they clear out Cold. Cold is not often going to get caught off guard in this situation. You can almost fully expect him to get a kill, but if they hard clear him, how can he, right? Smoke goes out at A. Valens gets called out as they walk out. Oh my god,
no.
This is what would happen, right?
Yeah. He does get 2 out of 3 of them, and now it's left down to Tarek to try and clutch 1v2. However, oh man, he had an opportunity there, but Taco does take him down, so there's the second round for SK.
Oh, that's kind of rude to his teammates to not go and plant the bomb. They could have had a lot more money here if he just went and did that. I don't know if maybe he expected there was potentially someone else out on the site, played for the long con, but he was clearly holding for a rotator in from market, so probably should have just gone and put the bomb down while he had the chance. Either way, one flash over A ramp to try to blind default. It's hard to get this angle deep enough, but yeah, everyone jump out Palace, try to plant the bomb as a strat.
Goes out here now, and we do see Tarek getting the first kill. Fallen, wow, just brawling from underneath of the platform there. He ends up getting 2 before he's eliminated, but Cloud9 somehow are making this work. They have a man advantage now. It's still 2v3. As we can see, Taco going to be crawling back up here, trying to look for the elimination on Rush. Rush has to crawl a little bit too far in front of the trip stack there. So that does open up the opportunity for Cole to get a kill. Gets a second 2. He's dropped down low. And what do you know? It's Valens looking for the clutch from Firebox. 17 HP, though. No armor sitting behind him, so this is going to be a little bit rough. Might be able to get at least 1 kill here, but spams out of the pre-fire just a little bit too soon. So Cold will complete, actually, all 3 of those kills and secure the 3-0 for SK, but not obviously without a lot of deaths here. So the rebuy on the first gun run is actually going to be a little bit messy for them.
Imagine if Fallen doesn't get the second kill. Is he like?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Stewie tries to knife him as well.
Yeah, he did. Looks like.
I could tell it was Stewie just by the movement. Yeah. Let's see, that round came way too close for considering how much money they put into it. I don't even think anybody bought. I mean, there's only like 2 people that even upgraded from their Glocks, so pretty impressive stuff. And the plant in all that damage. SK buy up, but for some reason Fur gets an MP9, I guess maybe because he expected to push Palace and have a close angle fight, but Rush, is he gonna have his gun out in time? Yeah, he is. Oh, way more damage dealt to Fur, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So now SK looks to defend mid. There is going to be, oh, that's actually a great top mid flash here. Unfortunately, Cole just not in position to do much with it, and they lose Phelps too. So SK, man, these early rounds are just rough for them.
Valens
showing up with a quick headshot on Fallen there. Now Stewie waltzes in, finds Fur. It's only Taco alive, and he's against a 1v5. At the very least, spots Skadoodle through the smoke there and is able to take him down. But in terms of retakes, no way is that going to be possible for him.
And for those guys who weren't around for it, Valens was in Pro Nylum, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Was he playing?
I think so. It's not a... Oh, that was interesting. Just name bouncing around off Taco. He was on a couple teams.
Yeah. He's a pretty storied player, but this is nuts. The second one, it's just like, peace, kid. Watch. Shut it up. And
bam. Spams into it.
Tight AF. Round 5, SK decide to buy again. This time, 3 UMPs versus the 5 AKs of Cloud9. They'll spamming through top mid, but doesn't have any opponents. Rush. And our A player, in a default like this, our A player kind of decides if they want to go Palace, if they want to go A ramp. If they want to be aggressive, if they want to be passive, they think they're gonna, if they think the CTs are gonna push or not. It's up to the CTs to decide. Is this the round where they went A-ramp or Palace? Do we want to push? Do we want to wait? Who is it, and what does that tell us? It's pretty passive across the board, though, for SK, which is kind of weird, I want to say. Oh, no, we have a BAPS push, yeah. Because they have such bad guns, you think they've got to make an advantage somehow. Stewie probably going to get cut off guard by this push, has his knife out. Oh, wow, they haven't actually checked underpass. Like, 2 ships in the night. Wow. Taco, I predict, gets a kill, and then... Oh, Stewie's actually coming back, though. Oh, my God. Oh!
Well,
wow.
That's unfortunate for Taco.
That's a huge bit of information for Stewie. He can wait this out, make some noise at B. He's pulling rotates right here. But they've made noise A-ramp as well. Rush, however, gets the kill in spite of that.
That's going to send the players right back, but they did just go through crawl space, so that's actually going to make it a little bit messy going back to the site. They won't actually establish presence at all. So the move from Stewie actually, does its job beautifully as it pulls them off site. Now with Phelps trying to rotate back in through connector, he's going to get knocked out by Tarek. It's only Fur sitting on the site, and Stewie even gets the kill on a cold too. So beautifully done by Cloud9. Fur will do what he can. Spamming out, only going to give him away. Yeah, down he goes. Rush takes him out. Cloud9, 1 away from the tie now. And with the pace they're going at, it's likely they'll be able to tie it up.
When a team feels that vulnerable, a push like that from Stewie can take advantage of it so well. So Taco just gets called out on this giant flank they have. So SK suddenly are like, they have all the information on us. They know exactly what they're doing. They're completely in our heads. They've downloaded us. And Stewie's like, all right, all I have to do is run towards B. They'll bite on this hard. Because they could go B and it would still work. So SK hard rotate off that, and the fact that they made that play in the first place because they only had UMPs to work with.
So let's see, Cloud9 again going for that early top mid control. They're able to establish that actually pretty quickly here. There's not really any resistance coming out from SK this time due to the full save. And I imagine they can pretty quickly line this up for a pinch into the site too, since it is just going up against pistols here. They just have to watch out for some of these positions that SK might try to hide in. That would really be the only risk against SK, however. So as they move in, there we go, Stewie. Wow, he keeps that spam going all the way out into the open there. Takes out 2, nice and quick. Let's see who we got on the site. It's going to be Phelps, but not for a very long time. He gets knocked out, and there we go. That's an open harbor for these guys to plan on. Taco, though, finding one with the deagle, but quickly goes down after that to Valens, who scores the last kill of the round.
Yeah, easy frags. 1 died from Cloud9. Cloud9's T-side looking beast as I expected. SK having to buy up on these like weaker buy rounds results in a save now. And a pretty easy road for Cloud9 to their first 3. And here, SK are buying up one more time. Not worried about an op, not worried about having too much utility or even the best rifles. $0 and are relying on some aggressive pushes to kick things off.
So in case anyone was curious, I did look it up with Valens.
Oh.
Nice little steal from Phelps there, takes out Stewie. But anyway, the last team that Valence played for as a player was actually the Complexity roster from late 2015. That was the one that had Sempus on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was actually
really, that was like for like 2 weeks or something.
No,
right?
it was for a couple months.
Was that?
It didn't last. It was actually a somewhat decent roster, if I remember correctly.
Oh, wait. That would have been like 2000.
It was 2015.
15, yeah.
Yeah. And then he coached TSM from early 2016 onwards. So that was the last time he was a player. It was late 2015.
So yeah, one of the more like relevant coaches in terms of play. Oh wow, Tarek's so smart to get off the bomb there. A lot of people would be tempted just to continue with the plant, but now he has to put the bomb down because the smokes are about to dissipate and gets away with it with his life. Let's see if he gets a kill for his heads-up play.
A lot of spam coming out from SK right now, so that is going to make it a little bit more tricky for Tarek to try and avoid some of this. He's looking for the headshots. However, Rush will find one. Tarek just gets eliminated by Koldov on top, though, and Snot doesn't stop there. He goes in and finds Rush, too. So just like that, we're even back out into a 2v2. SK trying to bring this back from the grave. Valence looking for a way to swing back out and get into the site. He does go for the wide swing, but he'll be taken down by Fallen. And now just Skadoodle alive, but he'll be overwhelmed by Cold. And that'll be it from SK. A nice little 3K there from Cold Zera. They pull it off. And they should just be able to get this defused, bringing it up to 4-3. They hold on to the lead.
Yeah, that's a tough situation. It's a weird plant, but it's not good enough for A-Ramp. Like, you can hide a default and defuse a bomb, and because they had 2 people at A-Ramp, no one Palace, and I mean, this might be just like a bad post plant because we see Rush go down, and him and Tarek were the only 2 people that the bomb was planted for. And initially, the bomb was supposed to be planted opposite default, and that's why they were both at A-Ramp. So that, you know, I'm just like realizing as I speak, but the best play would have been to have one person go out, try to bait as much attention as they could, and then have one person go back through A-Ramp to Palace. And hopefully it's delayed long enough that this Palace guy can actually play the 1v1 or whatever the case may be at the end of the round. Either way, SK do a good job in the post plant, getting those kills. Cold Zera going huge with the Falmus. Wow, just sitting right on that grenade.
Taco's going to be able to find Stewie here. Cloud9 already being injured as a result of that. Now we have the rest of Cloud9 looking for a way to push themselves into the site here. They're going to move forward, ready to execute out onto B. Taco sitting back. And fall even further back, too. So that's actually going to let Cloud9 kind of walk right in. He tries to take a position over here by the window, but he's a little late on that. And now Phelps gets eliminated. Taco has to hold this. He gets the nice double kill, but now down at 4 HP. He's going to need some support. Thankfully, it's all close by. Spear set up pretty well to defend this, even out towards Cat, and that's where Valence will go down. Skadoodle not left alone here, and he'll also be taken out by Taco. There we go. SK now back in control, 5-3.
Damn, Taco, 4 kills. Super nice. And look how disciplined he was on that I guess it would be his 3rd kill as well. Taking some damage here, jumping out to back pillar, and then after this, 1 kill, and then the second, he actually waits completely for his recall to reset, and then hits the headshot. Perfect. Doesn't rush the situation.
Let's see here for Cloud9. They're still having the capability to buy at the very least. They keep that rolling, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty simplistic A execute this time. They did have Tarek route into mid, so I'm assuming with safety smoke helping him out, he was able to push up partially onto Cat. And now he's going to be trying to swing over towards Connector a little bit late as the rest of the team just goes for a standard execute. There's actually not a lot of presence from SK out on the site at all here. And Fur going over cross. It's almost where we are able to see a kill claimed by members of SK here, but nothing picked up just yet. Phelps is going to be able to find Stewie, however, and he's now low at 1 HP.
They haven't planted yet, which is kind of interesting.
They tried to go for it right there, but they were pressured a little bit too much. Now he's going to go for it there after Rush got that kill, so they know CT's secure. I think Skadoodle's just a little bit.
They don't have proper post plants again unless they get the kills. Yeah, so their Skadoodle sitting on default, holding it down, doesn't have to move very much. The only person with a nade set is Fur. And there we go. Just Rush to support. Okay.
Yeah, Rush saved the day there. And these last 2, well, Cold gets 1, but Valence is there to trade. And now for Taco, he's set against a 1v3. There's the first pickup. Working his way back in here, looking for an opportunity to clutch, but that shot gives him away, and Skadoodle will fire off the final shot. Cloud9 right back into it now.
Yeah, they found a couple, like a good A setup. Tarek's, I was wondering if it was going to work out because Tarek's lurk wasn't fruitful at all, and everybody from SK decided to recede into window, stay alive, and make sure they couldn't get shot in the back. And I think the only thing stopping them from being able to pull off the retake was the fact that they didn't have enough utility left over to make that play. So maybe they need to play aggressive. Maybe they would have just played farther into Cloud9's hand. So overall, probably a pretty good setup on T side from Cloud9.
Fallen already starting it off with a kill, however. He's taking out Tarek. There's an aggressive push up on top. They get a second. Valens is stuck here in the corner, too. He's not going anywhere. 3 very fast kills from SK within the first, 15 seconds of the round. Phelps does start holding against Stewie as they get surprised a little bit by his presence here, considering how many players were just knocked out there before. So Stewie holds on for now, but still, ultimately, these guys have to look to try and battle back from a 2v4.
Yeah, 2v4 and SK aren't stopping the hunt, but Stewie's ready for it, man. Holy. And Rush is here to lead out a ramp. What's Stewie doing, though? Just assuming they're going to still continue to get aggressive. Oh, okay. So Rush is making noise at A. Stewie's hoping to catch a big flank. But does this mean that Stewie goes back to B, or does he just continue to A? I mean, Rush knows that most of the site is cleared, so it seems kind of strange that maybe he doesn't actually end up going back. But this means they work on a split. Dude, it's so nuts, man.
So that's going to take down Rush. Stewie, let's see. The smoke is just going to go for a quick executing the B, see if he can plant the bomb at least. There's one player he does have to take out for sure. That'll be Fur. Fur, though, doing a good job of just dodging this. Now the fake plant, trying to get players and market out into the open, or Fur, for that matter. And well, now he's at 8 HP. Would definitely want to prioritize that plant, you'd think anyway, but peeks out one more time, and that's where Fur is going to eliminate him.
Yeah, he just assumed having to run that far that the guy who was in market would be able to stop a default plant, even if he just had to jump out the window. So a little bit less clear, I think, whether he could do that or not. Now, here's Fur, the top mid push, and just very tight on the angle, like making sure no bullets can come to him, not needing to peek out too wide, he feels like. And obviously finishing Stewie off at the end of the round as well. So good CT aggression from SK pays off. Full nasids out for Cloud9 as a half buy into in A hit. CT smoke, Palace smoke. Oh, they're gonna do basically like the mid wall strat. They figure stuff out. Does he need to set up where he?
Rush is just sizing up Skadoodle right now.
No, they just know smokes that are like on the same.
Oh yes.
Oh, he fell. Oh no.
Already made it.
Yeah, that's good jungle.
So that goes over the top, and now they're gonna move back in. Ooh, 1 for 1 there. As Phelps holds. Rush is actually going to make this happen as he gets another kill now. Fallen waits patiently. Taco moves in to get a kill too, but Fallen right now holds on to this solo from behind Trip Stack there, doing some work. Plant still doesn't happen, by the way. Fallen's really trying to stay alive here, trying to minimize the damage, and he does successfully get out into a position where he can take down Rush. So nicely done from him as that hold saves the team, saves the round, and make sure we don't see another upset in the hands of Cloud9.
Yeah, 2 smokes come out. It's funny to see that they decided to make that a 5 smoke strat. I wonder why they do jungle and top connector, maybe to bait some attention towards mid, or I'm not sure. Maybe they just feel like that's much safer than having the jungle smoke come out and players being able to push through it. I'm not, or maybe they like to clear stairs. They could do that instead of clearing stairs. So it's an interesting take on it. Actually, it does make a lot of sense. I like that.
Also now for Cloud9, with things going back down into another eco here. Their players will split 3-2 across the map. They've got 2 in back B halls, and one of them is already dead. Fur moves out from underpass to be able to find that. The others are going to try to move out through T ramp here. Now they have 1 lurking in Palace. Fallen actually get outside. Fallen not necessarily ready for it this time, but he does quickly re-peek there, knocking out that player. Rush tries to take a duel out in the open with Fallen. That is not going to happen. For Fur, well, he's going to be able to get himself on top. Fallen actually steals another one away from Fur. I think it's the second kill he's actually taken from him. But Skadoodle at least makes 1 kill happen, but that'll be it. After that, Taco moves in towards the ramp, shuts him down, and SK get their 8th.
Tough to have the double save in that situation, but Cloud9 do what they have to do. Got another rifle round out here. SK looking sharp as ever. Cloud9, some of those earlier rounds looked very apt. I mean, we're hitting shots and everything. Their default looks strong, but we've got a C9 tech pause. Talk about what they need to do. For me, it's tough. Sometimes the CT aggression, like we saw Stewie on one of the rifle rounds get caught setting up for a smoke into B from an underpass push. Coldzera has pushed underpass 3 or 4 times in this half already, so he should have been more aware of that, or just ready for any kind of aggression like that. You know, and even on that last round, we saw him die with a pistol as Coldzera pushed it pretty aggressively at the beginning of the round too. Further, another rifle round. Fur pushes top mid, gets 2 kills. There's opportunities here for Cloud9 to set up in a passive default and get kills early on. But obviously, SK are not just going to do that every single round, so they've got to decide where and when that is.
Phelps, he's going to be looking to spam through here since the CTs... Excuse me, we do have the smoke set up on Catwalk early on to let Cloud9 go out and take a little bit of control here. The spam going in, it actually does somewhat decent damage. About 50 overall there against Tarek and Rush. And now it's a matter of Cloud9 trying to establish dominance here top mid, but there's so much pressure coming out from SK right now, it's just not feeling doable.
Oh, they missed the molly.
Yeah, at the very least it's going to keep them safely tucked away, but coldzera and Phelps get both kills anyway, taking them out of the fray.
See, this is what a lot of teams are not coordinated enough and too afraid to do. Is that on CT side, instead of letting teams take connector control or cat control, because it's mid can be very T favored with the correct safe nades, they decide to go in and re-aggress to make it very uncomfortable for Cloud9.
Look, just waiting right up on top too. You can even see him through the smoke.
Oh,
oh no, it's dirty. He goes in, gets the backstab on Stewie.
Later.
So now Fur is just going to fall right back. The smoke goes in. Valence is able to get some revenge, taking down Phelps inside a window. They know Fur's trying to hide away. Oh, he can see him now. And there we go. Valence makes the mistake of going up on top of the boxes there. That is going to lead to his elimination and just leaves Skadoodle alone in a 1v4.
Nothing he can do for continuing the dominance. And that was just, really great re-aggression on mid. Connector, window, and cat all getting kills. And yeah.
Bam.
Ugh. It's right in there. Up the spine.
So another one added to the counter here for the guys on SK, and it's looking likely that they'll be able to try and push this up to maybe even 11-4. We'll see here as Cloud9 are going to choose to eco in this round. Just P250s and a couple of upgraded pistols besides that. The Deagle on Stewie. Oh, Phelps almost put no bad spot there, but Fur saves the day. Stop Stewie from finding impact here. And the others, well, they've got quite a bit of Palace presence, actually. It's only going to be one more player coming out ramp. The rest are very much inside of Palace, ready to swing out and execute here. So CTs will apply smoke to ramp. Fur can then take up a safe position here. He's even got support from Phelps if need be. Phelps spots them going across. I think he thought that that was behind the choke point there, though. So doesn't spam to the left too much more.
Yep, Stewie heard, I think they had a strat, but Stewie heard someone get burned, decided to try to peek that guy, but there was someone right behind him to make sure that he couldn't die. Now, they still want to explode. The flash is in Palace, however, so you're going to have like limited exposure on this flash. Is that Rush actually going back to your ramp? I don't know if he's to throw that over or what. At least they don't have to deal with a huge flank. So they've got time to deal with this.
Rush is still being cautious of that, however, so he's going to watch out for it.
Yeah, this is the flash has to be thrown like as far to the left as possible, otherwise it doesn't blind anyone at default. But it's still not that good.
To the top, and now Fur able to get one. Phelps helping out with this one as well. Cloud9 trying to overwhelm here. While they do get one more kill on Phelps, it's not going to matter much as going into the last round of the half. SK have plenty of money to rebuy, so they're still in great shape here. Meanwhile, Cloud9 will get this one last full buy, but they need to make it impactful here, getting at least up to 5 rounds. Otherwise, SK will lead once more here in the second map.
It feels like it's been the most amount of ecos possible for Cloud9. Tough road here on the T side after starting off really strong. Obviously, losing Tim is tough. Got to lament that loss, and I think he'll, if his internet ever does come back, he will rejoin. You would assume.
We would hope anyway.
But Balin's definitely playing his part. I think he's already have a round to his name with a couple of good entries. Good trade from Stewie as he jumps up into connector, gets in for his face. And now it's just Phelps and one man in CT that are holding down A.
Phelps swinging out there. He's going to be able to find Rush. Fallen helps out with the elimination of Valence. Stewie, now with just him and Skadoodle left alive here, they do find one trade onto Phelps. It's not over just yet, especially with Cloud9 having all this forward control to do Stewie's kill. It's actually really good. It should let Skadoodle come out and plant the bomb here. They still have to be a little bit cautious of ticket area there, so they'll just smoke it off. And Stewie, oh, he's going to push this actually. There's the molly, goes back in, and that's Fallen dead. Now, great move. Skadoodle also takes down Taco. coldzera now left as the last man standing. He's going to toss away his gun, so I'm assuming there's something on the walk up here. Yeah, he's got an AK to pick up and play with here now. Fully loaded one as well. It's all a matter of trying to get these players from Cloud into the open. I'm going to assume Stewie should have been able to hear that drop.
Molly.
Yeah, they know he's here now. The Molly, that's going to burn Skadoodle out into the open, or at least up on top where he'll be revealed. Tries to hide in plain sight, not going to work, and now it's a 1v1. Coldzera does have a kit. He's got nades to utilize as well, but to heck with that, he's going to try to push directly in, but Stewie holds and closes out on the last round for Cloud9 as they get at least 5 going for themselves. Still a lot of recovering to do, but they're making it work with their coach filling in for one disconnected player. Stick with it to see if they can successfully recover, or if SK will take the 2-0 for the evening right here at the EPL.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
And we are back here, folks. Now, a better start for Cloud9 as they end up going 5-10 this time, comparatively to the 12-3 scoreline that we had back on Cobblestone. But still, with Valen's filling in, it is a tough road to come back from here, as it doesn't look like, due to his tweet that I just saw from Automatic, that he's actually going to be coming back on the server. It seems like he's kind of out for the match right now.
Oh, that's rough. Too bad you can't play CS on your phone. Actually, my nephew did show me an app where you could play CS on your phone on Android. I don't think it
Go
was
or 1.6? Because I've seen
it was 1.6.
Yeah, I've
right.
seen 1.6 on Android phones
Which
before.
is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How hardware is
What a time to be alive, huh? That's really cool. Yeah, but either way, probably have a hard time having impact doing that. So, Valen's filling in. He did good, I guess you could say. If you look at how many rounds they've won, Valen's having large impact on one round is a big factor in the amount of rounds they won, something like that. Yeah, it's tough to say anything else about how kind of badly they performed. That being said, Stewie going huge on the last round at least gives him a little bit more hope. A pistol and 2 subsequent rounds would result in SK being 1 rifle round, 1 rifle loss away from tying this game up. So still hope for sure.
Well, let's find out and see if they're going to be able to swing it as we do get into that pistol run. SK started off actually pretty slowly as they're going to spread players out, but Fallen just gets deleted right at the bottom of the T steps. Stewie is the one to find that kill, so he's on a roll. Coming off fresh from the T half, and he's ready to frag again. Now let's see if he can do it some more, as he's going to be over here at top mid. As soon as he sees players looking for him, though, he turns away. Still ends up in a battle, regardless whether he wanted to take it or not, and Coldzera, as a result of that, will take him down.
It's got to be so annoying dueling Coldzera because you just lose no matter what. Like, no matter how long the duel is, you're just going to lose.
So yeah, that trades it back now down 4v4. And SK taking that mid control early on here. There is going to be some players resisting it. We can already see that action rolling in. Skadoodle, specifically from the ladder room, but he's going to back away pretty quickly as he knows there's going to be pressure against him. He can see the feet of one player there, and yeah, Tim, and I believe he's got another player with him, actually, that they're going to be spamming into here. Rush finds the pickup onto Coldzera here, so another advantage for Cloud9 to try and play off of. Valen's also spawning one, but in the meantime, Rush was lost due to a kill from Taco. Right back down to a 3v3. You'll see how heavily these SK players have been hit, though. Fur and Phelps, very low. 1 or 2 shots should be able to take both of them out. Cloud9, that's going to put them into a good position. Taco tries to push forward. He goes down. Phelps comes out a little bit better as he gets the trade kill again. But you'll remember, both of these players are low. But for Phelps, as long as he hits the headshots, that doesn't matter. He goes into a corner as they suddenly get surprised by Skadoodle pushing back in from CT as the last man standing here now. And for Fur, well, he's going to have to run up to the site here now as he's sticking that. He goes off it looking for the kill. And what a bait from Skadoodle. Beautifully done. Gets her out into the open, right into a position where he can headshot him. And as a result, he'll win it for Cloud9.
That was so clean. You could see him zeroing in on where Fur was behind the box as he was running, because he really forced his hand putting that smoke out, knowing that, okay, first of all, he can't push to the right side, so there's not going to be a trick here. And also, he can't do anything but run the entire way. So I'm going to be able to time this perfectly. And if he doesn't, I'm going to get this defused. So really well played in that 1v2 from Scoodle. And a good attempt from Phelps as well. He got those 2 kills in CT. That was important. Or I guess would have been.
Yeah. So now where does this leave SK at? As they do go for the light buy here due to at least getting the plant going in the last round here. So just CZs and 1 P250, a couple flashbangs. Basically just going to try to shock value the A site and see if, due to a result of these flashes, they can get a second plant going. What are they doing?
I don't know.
Yes.
What is this community? Is that Portuguese?
I don't know. Well, here they go. They're going to go into the site now. And Cloud9 already starting to shut this down pretty quickly. Skadoodle with 2. Rush with a 3rd. And actually, the flank over here through the connector throws them off a little bit. That's going to take Rush down. Still, however, it is down to just that 1 flanked player. And 1 additional pickup here. They dink Skadoodle, but don't take him down. And he shows up with a 3rd kill to shut it all out for Cloud9. 7-10 now.
Denied the plants. That's big. 4K a piece on each player means SK can buy, but they don't have that much to work with. There's a lot of scrimmy options on Mirage that mean that you don't need to have all that much utility to really either get the bomb down or straight up win the round. A site, like you can split through A with just like 1 top mid smoke, 1 cat smoke if you do like a running fast split, and then have a couple of lurks up Palace. And as long as you get those entries on like a proper timing, and it doesn't actually take that much to win the round. It's surprising to think about considering how big the map is. It's like one of the harder, bigger maps in CS, but at the same time, there's so much room for individual plays on Mirage. It's actually kind of crazy.
So let's find out here now if SK are going to be able to keep things together here now. Getting into this 3rd round with an investment. They don't have the greatest utility purchase, but at the very least with the AKs, they might still be able to make something happen. And that first thing that's going to happen is they're going to take easy mid control. Cloud9 doesn't put anyone in mid to defend it at all. They focus entirely on the sites, which could prove somewhat dangerous. Excuse me, if the execute from SK works out as well as they're propping it up to be right now. If they move in, get 3 clean entries with no trades, then Valens and Tarek are really not going to be able to do much on rotate here. They need to be a little bit quicker on the draw. And it looks like now they hear a bit of utility going off. Tarek is going to start to move closer towards the site so that he can try to contribute here. Potentially allow for some kind of a retake. In they go. They're not really going to look for kills early on. Skadoodle, however, will be able to get 2 before he's traded out by Coldzera. And now he spams into it more. Stewie is also going to go down to Coldzera. Beautiful control from him, but Rush still alive. Well, not for long at Firebox. The pre-fire from Taku knocks him out. And these last 2, unfortunately, both heavily lit. One's already dead. Valens back down in the B site, and that'll be SK. Getting secure control, and for Valens, he won't be attempting this as he only has the MP9.
There is something about Coldzera's back that has the effect that it has on Stewie's bullets, because every time Stewie's shooting at him, for some reason, those shots aren't going in. He even has 34 health to show for that 180 in connector to get that 2nd kill. I mean, that's the difference between a 2v2. Actually, that's the difference between like what could have been a 3v2 if, or I think our ticket player didn't die in those last few moments.
He's got a magnet on his back or something.
And what? Stewie's got like the other magnet that makes it repel.
Well, he's got a negative magnet.
Yeah.
I don't actually know if bullets are magnetic or not. Don't think they are. That would be very dangerous, to be completely honest.
Well, bullets are dangerous.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of a given.
Do bullets kill people, Blue?
Well, that's a...
In Counter-Strike, at least.
Yeah, I think so. Well, that are the guns, but one of the 2. Not entirely sure which one. Anyway, Taco, he's going to know that there's pressure against him. So he's going to try to fall back. And the spin around there, too. For sure he was going to end up dying, but he controls it. So nicely done. Holds off the 1v2.
Yeah, I think Skadoodle's gun was shown. Yeah, so first fully ready for that attack. Smoke in a window. Full mid control. Lurks in full effect. Stewie's in CT spawn. And he's coming back through Palace, actually, instead of going through mid because he realizes they're going to take A. So They kind of have like a pincer move going on, but what's Tarek gonna do? Go to CT? Stewie's got a kit, a smoke, armor, a big flank, and he's not going to be expected to be here. What's he going to do? Is he going to go out?
It is an MP9 though, so that. Oh no, Fur's waiting for this.
Oh my god.
As expected. Fur's going to kill this now. No. Yeah, Null's in.
So aware, dude.
Goodbye to Stewie. And Tarek, obviously, with just that P250, he's not going to get much done. Great spot by Fur there. Stops disaster from happening. And that puts SK up to 12.
Yeah, that was a ninja waiting to happen. Fur was the one who came out of Palace. Says he's so aware. Oh, maybe he saw. He might have been able to see a view model or a shadow. But I'm not sure if the shadow shows in that from that angle. I would say no, but maybe.
Well, anyway, that's going to put Cloud9 onto this force buy here. It actually ends up being pretty much a full buy, just having Valence having a sacrifice going down to the Mag 7 instead. Him and Tarek probably trading that out. So decent utility for most players sitting behind that too. So it's actually not a bad buy at all for Cloud9 here. After this one, though, I imagine the way they had to buy this, they will be relatively broken. And that will be SK shooting up towards 15 rounds.
Yeah.
They win this one, that is.
Wow, surprised to see that, like, pretty much full A execute with right side sight smokes. Doesn't have an effect on Cloud9. They don't actually have a connector player / window player. Like, they're instead playing inside the site. So
Run boost.
with CT as well, but yeah, nothing quite influenced just yet. Stewie taking a peek at mid, but not really. Not seeing anything except for the smoke coming out.
Yeah, the Molly's going to go back on a Cat too, so that's going to be good initial mid presence from SK. However, you'll note that there's a lot of utility being used in mid to try and make Cloud9 think that this is going to be some kind of like big mid execute, but actually it's only just that one player at the moment. So.
I mean, I feel like Cloud9 might be really confused right now, but I don't think it really... I feel like SK are working way too hard for this for no reason. Like, they use their smokes and their execute. I guess to bait out initial utility, which didn't come out because Xenon didn't have it.
Molly will go back. That's actually going to send Stewie partially into the open here. I don't think he's peeked out for it yet. Taka, regardless, gets a first kill against a rush here. And yeah, Stewie, Tarek all fall after that. Just no response. Literally no response from anyone on Cloud9. The entire SK roster is still at full HP right now. Skadoodle might have an opportunity to pick someone off here, but the round is very much over. Valence knows that. He's sticking to B. There we go. Finally, Skadoodle gets something going with a missed shot. Let's see. Oh. Tosses the pistol out. And now he's got to run away. Try to run away. As they're playing with him. Phelps is doing a little jump around, and that will be enough to bait out the shot. Taking him down, leaving only Valence alive.
So it looked really complex what SK were doing, but basically what we saw was a false exec, most likely to bait out utility, mid control just to escort one player into chair so that he could 4-1, and then a fallback to A ramp with smokes again as they crush the A site. Pretty simple stuff, and they just had all the safe kind of. They did everything very safely. That's why we saw that initial false exec and the escort. Wow, that's sick.
Through the floor too, so he keeps spamming into that, hoping he would get a second one later on, but only that one player was what needed to be eliminated. And Taco very much dominating right now, as we can see his money is easily outwinning that of the rest of his team here at 10K at the moment. So that's Cloud9 unfortunately letting SK get a little bit out of control here. And again on this round, the ecos for Cloud9 continue to not show up with much. Valence finishing off one player, and Skadoodle actually getting a second here, so hold on now. Might have to eat my words in a second, we'll see. SK have been pretty good at recovering these in the past, and yeah, those 2 kills will bring us back down into reality here. And then Coldzera will close out with the last one. SK now just 2 rounds away from a 2-0 this evening.
Yeah, and it might start with this one rounds. Full buy up. We'll see if there's kits, double op, a triple op adjustment. I think this goes along with what Tarek was saying. They have like a bunch of IGL op hybrids. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it 3 or 4 maybe? I think they maxed out the ops here.
Yeah.
Cat jump. There's no one to give him a frag. Oh,
I think he tried to block it. So
yeah,
it
I mean, he did. Technically, he still put it off of its trajectory, but they only got the information there that there wasn't a mid hit, so that actually pulls Skadoodle back to A, which is kind of interesting. They still have enough smokes to smoke him out, though. Everybody's in smoke-outable positions. There's no one actually in the A site. And SK are like obsessed with fakes.
So we'll see here, as we can see, Skybox smokes to try and block things off. Cat's the first off. Molly into.
Oh wow, they pulled the rotates.
pulled it hard too. There's only one player remaining. Thankfully, that player's Rush, so he should be able to show up with a couple kills here. They see Stewie in connector 2. It takes Phillips a couple tries, but he does get the headshot off. Now he goes down, trades out the loss of earlier Fur, but Rush comes back in. That also denies the plant too, as they were about to put that down on the ground, and the smoke is not necessarily helping them right now. Yeah, you can see Rush is actually doing a great job of abusing that smoke. He moves in, finally a plan from the other side, but SK have been hit pretty hard here now. 3 players are going to move in and retake from CTs. They know that angle's not covered yet. They would definitely have not been able to establish anyone that quickly. Phelps, as low as he is too, he's really going to have to be the one to watch this. Coldzera finally flanking in there, does catch Valence on the other side. The CTs now move in. Thankfully for SK, this is planted for them on this side, so they can kind of sit back in these spots and watch out Fallen. He's going to be able to get one. Coldzera ends up in another fight here. Skadoodle takes out Fallen though, so it's all on Cold, but we know it is Cold. And as how Skadoodle goes for the plant, he goes out into the open instead to take the duel on Cold, and that will give him the time he needs to get the kill, and of course the time to defuse the bomb.
Yeah, just enough time. Very close round. They, SK are working so hard on just like trying to get any rotates that they can. Yeah, they're pumping fakes, whether it's the site they go to or the site that they're trying to fake, either to false exec or to fake execute, and it's always working really. They're pulling the rotates exactly where they want to. Sometimes that can bite yourself in the butt, because you'll like throw a false exec and a team will read too hard into it and end up stacking the right site by accident. But the way that SK are doing it, very methodical, and it's got to be extremely frustrating to deal with. Super hard to stay that coordinated too, so shout out to them.
Even with the win from Cloud9 though, their economy does get put into a pretty tough spot here. We can see the top 2 players, Valens and Tarek, have to buy in with a Scout and a FAMAS, so they downgrade. Utility's still okay, and obviously the other 3 players are fine, but Tarek having to go down to that Scout is certainly hurting them here unless you can get a good position to frag out. SK this time do go heavily into mid. They take quick control and are ready to execute if need be onto the A bomb site, which is where they would more than likely align this to go towards, as they also have Taco waiting back over there at ramp. Taco has been on point so far this game, so he's definitely not one to be messed with, and I feel they're easily comfortable leaving him as the solo player. Even if they don't end up going into the A site, he could still really deal some damage when they pull the rotations over towards B.
Stewie recognizing the mid threat, and then his teammate would be alone at B. Is a faster rotate when he's outside the window. There's 3 people at A pretty much stacked up and ready to control this from a passive setup. And we can see the perimeter that all the CTs have taken. But it's a lot of control here for SK. This technically is like the best case situation is 5v5. So Cloud9 still have that going for them, but there's so many lurk opportunities for SK.
SK moving out here now. Rush is going to be able to take down Phelps and Taco before finally getting traded by Fallen, and even Fallen taking about half HP damage from that one. Now Skadoodle moves in, hits the op shot off there to take out Fallen, and wow, these players are just getting executed one by one. They don't even realize where these kills are coming from either until they're dead, so it's really great stuff, and with the timer being as low as it is, well, they won't actually run it down, but Stewie will still be able to peek out there, taking down Coldzera, and finally a very clean round from Cloud9.
Yeah. SK were like, yeah, we've got a dope A split, and Cloud9 are like, oh, you think you have a dope A split? Well, I've got a bridge to sell you, because we've got Palace control, we've got Rush on the A site going hard, we've got an extra player in CT opt up, and it's still going to be a long road back, but that's a good place to start. Sometimes the ultra passive setup works, it just won't consistently do that, so you've always got to be able, like, prepared to fight for map control when you need to. Like SK, for example, should never be allowed to take connector without having to use nades. But if they knew that you were playing ultra passive every single round, they would just walk into connector, save their nades to like molly you and smoke you out in CT, for example. So, but every once in a while, if you think they're going to use a lot of nades to get something, even if you're not there, you can skip the whole mess, go into your passive setup because you're worried about one specific player or play, and then trap them. And they lured them into the A site.
Well,
I hope he trolled him. Like, I hope he was like, all right, go, and just did it. Because he didn't even try to run. That's good. It's a faith test.
Alright, well, they get mid control anyway. Cloud9's been pretty passive in mid for most of this half, so they're going to kind of let them walk in and take it. Now they have to actually get this onto the site, though, as that was the problem last round, is the actual execute into the site was very poorly thought out, so they got kind of ripped to shreds there. Cloud9 very much ready for an execute, not so much a B play, so that would probably be the preferable site for SK, but they're going to go into A regardless. Coldzera even hits the, oh no, B would have definitely been the spot to go. Taco hits this kill on a rush, but Rush and Stewie trade that out with 2 more of their own kills. coldzera even hits the 2nd kill on Valens now. And yeah, the bombs would pulled back out. It's heading up, Cat. So coldzera thankfully gets these kills.
Oh my god, how does she live?
Somehow,
Stewie just cannot hit coldzera.
Somehow dodges that from coldzera, even though it seemed like point blank. The bomb's just going to arrive to the site in time. Should have about 3 seconds left on the clock when they plant it. Yeah, coldzera just reads Stewie. He's got a mind reader in Stewie's brain or something like that there. He's able to take him down again very easily. And for Skadoodle, there's really nothing he can do. He should be aware that Taco is lurking somewhere back in the A site too, and yeah, he's checking for that. But there's no way he's going to clutch this, so he's just going to hide out at the moment in window room, trying to save that up for the next round.
Yeah. What could potentially be the last round? I don't know if can we see the money? See if they have enough for another op again, or just like any kind of buy. No, that's fine. Okay.
There you go. All right, so Skadoodle here yet. Looks like he's safe. They don't check inside a window room there, so he's going to make it out of the round alive. But for SK, they push up onto map point here. 9-15. Cloud9 now needs 6 rounds straight in order to take this to OT here.
coldzera is so annoying. Just like he peeks out, Tarek sees him, falls back, peeks out again as Tarek's throwing the Molotov, takes his face off, and then kills Valens by himself. Kills Stewie, somehow enters the Matrix, dodges Stewie's bullets with like 8 HP, and then kills Stewie. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, so Skadoodle is going to look for that quick shot out into the open there, but misses it. Was caught jumping though, so he's going to lose about a quarter of his HP. However, they will be able to boost him up on top of the Tetris boxes here on Cat and try to impact on him, but that is ultimately going to be his doom, it seems. Stewie also caught in a bit of an awkward position here too, trying to spam on Phelps. He takes him down. Fur is going to trade that right back though. Still massive advantage for SK to play off of. They have the A site completely surrounded. There's only 1 player sitting inside of it defending it right now, and that's Rush. And he only has an ump too. So he's going to have to hope he can somehow multi-frag here on the entry as SK are moving forward, getting ready to push back in. They immediately take out Rush. And that is almost the end of it now. Tarek has rotated towards CT in the meanwhile. Valens is going to work his way through underpass. They're going to attempt to pinch this site with a 2-man team, but they have to pull off a 2v4. And that's just not looking so great for them to be able to do here. The plant will go down. Tarek jumping up on top. He is now dead. So everything falls to the coach. Valens to try and clutch. He'll get 1 more kill, but that'll be the end of it as Fallen hits the final shot. SK take control with the final scoreline of 16-9. They'll win it out here tonight and take the 2-0 as well, continuing to push them further and further up in the rankings.
Yeah, not too many takeaways. I think for Cloud9, unfortunately, they had to use a stand-in. Whoever that stand-in may be, it just kind of affects their ability to stay coordinated. But it was a good attempt. They had got 9 rounds, which I expected them to probably get crushed after having to deal with such a blender early on in the game. Yep. But overall, not so bad. Not so bad of a showing. Yep,
not so bad. But fortunately, they're not able to take the map. And now, with that said, we can send it back over to our analysts one last time to break down this map and close out the evening.
Man, thank you, Blue and Launders. And with that being said, another loss here from Cloud9.
I don't know why you're looking directly at me.
Looking right at you.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. Like I said, I knew those guys once upon a time, but your problem now. Anyway.
Hey, I wouldn't call it a problem. Call it a nice little challenge, a nice little Saturday.
It is a challenge. And like Stewie said, they're grinding. They're trying to get there. And that's all it is. It's an uphill battle no matter what team it is, right? So looking at it, though, within this matchup, already the circumstances that they had, a little out of their control.
Yeah, I mean, the Cobble match was just too big of a hill to climb in the beginning. They went 0-2 on the night. Obviously losing Tim, what was it, 2nd round in, right? He basically we lost pistol.
I'm out.
His internet.
I'm out, guys.
Yeah, but he does have kind of weird internet in San Diego. I chose the other provider in San Diego. I live kind of near him. But that being said, Tim is usually a huge entry fragger for them on a Mirage, right? He's always playing kind of like that railing near window, jumping into window, playing catwalk. And obviously, they only got 5 rounds T side without the pistol, so it could have been a lot better. And then CT side, he's huge at B. So, you're missing a big piece on Mirage without Tim.
I mean, he's known to be one of those players that can open up bomb sites, open up just an entire game almost if he's, hitting shots and firing away on a point. But we're going to look at our first replay now. It's going to be round number 8. and I do believe it's a nice B smoke here from Taco.
I think we missed the actual lineup, which is interesting because I thought we were going to get it in there. But see that smoke that Tarek's passing on his left right there? It basically has a one-way next to it so Taco can see somebody's legs, right? But the T's cannot see past it.
So
and he killed somebody earlier on, and now he's falling back from it.
And it lands on that bookcase.
Yeah, that little bookcase. I don't know if you guys that are watching it on the broadcast have different names for the segments of the hallways. I suggest you do. So that bookshelf hallway that connects to kitchen, he has it land kind of in the corner of that, and he throws it from below Van. It's a really cool smoke that you guys should try out.
Well, certainly that. Eric, just general impressions of what you saw tonight.
Well, on Mirage, it's unfortunate that Automatic couldn't play too much, so Valens had to step in. And, well, it's hard to play 4 and 5, especially with a guy that, probably hardly even plays anymore. He's probably coaching too much to play. I mean, you see some brilliance from Cloud9 here and there, but then you see, I don't know if it's Rage or what, but I keep saying this about Stewie, but I see him off by himself in the map sometimes. He'll have a kill, and then it's like, it's 5-on-4 in our favor. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to push somewhere.
Oh, you're talking about the CT pistol. So he picks fall on A ramp, and then he goes down connector and pushes
he
mid.
Just pushes up middle by himself, teammate not even anywhere near to help him. And it's like, maybe, take the advantage, chip away at the old block, fall back and play with your team. You don't have to be Superman, Stewie. You could use your teamwork.
Rather than taking the brute force approach, essentially. But we do have that smoke lineup if we want to take a look at it again. I think we will, just to kind of show you guys what exactly we're talking about here with Taco and B Halls.
Yeah, so he sees the smoke going over the top, and he has a nice little lineup where he's safe on the bottom in front of Van.
And as you can see, you can see their feet there, you can see their legs there. But if you're, your T side coming into that, it's pretty much a recipe for a mess. In the kitchen.
It's a pretty cool idea. I mean, SK always has new stuff to show off, so we just caught one right there.
It's just wild like that, and that's why they're able to stay on top. But anyway, so we're going to move on now to round 9, and I believe we can take a look at it and classify this as a great connector hold by Tarek.
So for C9, this is one of the rounds they won on T side, and you see they're doing it looks like a simple A execute. They have common smokes and whatnot, but Tarek right here, him messing up with Fur, and staying in this connect area makes SK rotate through CT spawn. Kind of in a way, and so it's pretty huge. Even though SK got the first kill, SK being bottlenecked in CT spawn hurts them a lot, and so C9's able to flash CT spawn, peek it, and just keep them there and have the bomb down. So even though Tarek didn't do much of, let's say, have a kill or anything, he put pressure in the middle. He forced them to
stayed alive.
Stayed alive. That's the key I was going to do. He stayed alive, hold the connect area, so they had to force a lot of the SK members through CT spawn, so it's a good play by Tarek.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, too, you saw C9 went for the execute, and I counted that SK pushed 9 out of the, 12 rounds that each team had 1 rifle or more. Right, so they pushed 9 out of 12 times with rifles. So that's pretty crazy to think about
SK,
on their CT side.
They're super aggressive.
They actively kept going. They didn't just, hold a position, right? It wasn't like, oh, I'm an underpass, I'm going to hold. They, kept attempting to go.
Well, we talked about this a little bit beforehand, too, about the poise and confidence that SK seemingly holds over a team like Cloud9 no matter what. And that does come into a factor no matter where they meet up, wherever they play. And so in a way, it's kind of like PsyOps, right? It's kind of like mind games almost. If they're able to have that sort of aggressive confidence, of course they're going to keep Cloud9 on the back foot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I actually think that SK and VP have that the most over C9. Like that last match in the major that basically held C9 out of the playoffs, right? It was on Train against VP. And it was funny because you saw C9 play Train earlier against Mouse Sports in the second to last match that they played. And it was such a different persona that Cloud9 brought into it. It was I don't like to say playing scared, but I guess there's no other way of saying
what it is.
Right? It's just they're not taking the initiative when they should be, right? Everyone kind of knows when they're in the zone when they're playing CS, right? It's like I know what I'm supposed to do right now. I know what the risks are and the rewards, and I hear everything going on. I know where my teammates are, and I know what plays are able to be made. And it seems like that's when people get scared, is they aren't kind of thinking for themselves, right? They're just kind of feeling
Yeah.
caged in and like not wanting to do
Rather
things.
than feeling it, they're feeling it. I don't want to. I think the word might even be a little feeling insecure.
Yeah.
Within their own.
Yeah, I know a lot about that. Yeah.
Oh, well, we could talk about that later. Let's talk about now round 20. We have an excellent A take here from SK Gaming.
Oh yeah, this is a really cool idea. I've been wondering when people were going to initiate smoke plays from Palace. What's funny here is that Skadoodle's op is in CT spawn, and he hadn't taken a shot until like 40 seconds into the round, and SK basically got free mid control without even throwing like a single nade. That's one thing that is like the hallmark of SK Gaming, is that on their defaults, they don't necessarily always expend utility. They basically try and like feel out what you're going to give them for free, and they take it, right? Like they actively peeked mid without throwing a single nade, smoke, or flash, right? So just interesting stuff by SK. They have like definitely a lot of courage when they play.
Well, if you want to learn more about how SK approaches Mirage and perhaps any other map that you've ever thought of them to play on, head over to youtube.com/ESLCS, load up your favorite video on demand, and try to learn something today. I can't stress it enough. Try to learn something every day, with or without a Counter-Strike. But if you're going to do it in Counter-Strike, that's the one place to do it. youtube.com/ESLCS. And let's take a look at today's matches because, well, that's why we're all here, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not. Optic besting Luminosity in a one map there, switching maps, I guess, over on Train and Inferno. Then we're going to see Cloud9 just fall to SK. And then, again, on the second map of those two BO1s, we did see Valence come in as a stand-in there for Automatic, who was having internet issues at home. But looking at the B stream, kind of results to
Every
be
match
expected.
had the exact same score over there.
It's kind of creepy. It's a simulation.
Except for one of them.
Anyways, let's take a look at these North American standings now, which, you know, it is like, again, we put emphasis on this. It's becoming later in the season now. Some of these matches, every single match down to every single round counts in terms of teams looking to find their way up to the playoffs. But again, let's take a look at those standings. Optic Gaming still sitting in the commanding seat there. Not far behind is SK Gaming, and as Liquid stock rises, Renegades seemingly going from that second place down a couple. But we're at that part of the season where, once again, every match counts. So one match, and as close as these maps might be, or as close as these teams might be, it's easy for those to swap around pretty quickly.
Yeah, very much so. And Cloud9 sit there at 9th place. If they don't turn up, they have a lot of hard matches upcoming as well, and they need to win probably every single match if they want to even compete against, you know, that playoff spot.
Yeah, so see, they already have 6 losses. I mean, Optic has 5, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, Cloud9 would need, you know, 7 more wins to even equal that record.
And then, you know, God forbid a team like Immortals gets together too and finally, you know, starts coming back up from this turmoil they've had. You know, it could make for a really interesting later part of the season. Let's look at the EU standings as well and see how they are shaping up on that side of the pond.
When I was driving to the studio today to come to work, I was actually listening to, I think it was Henry and Sadakis talking about, I think it was Astralis versus FaZe on Mirage, or it was North versus FaZe on Mirage. So that was pretty cool. So North finally is somebody who beat FaZe, got more than 10 rounds on FaZe, baby, and they beat them. So that's pretty fun to watch.
Well,
they are beatable, basically. So North beat them today. Config hit them up with those 1-digs.
Yeah, that guy is on a different tier.
I call him, I don't know if it's appropriate, but he has a pretty good nickname because of how confident he is. We call him Dongfig.
Dongfig.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to take a look at tomorrow's matches before that one gets any darker. We'll save that for another time. Misfits Immortals kicking it off on the main stream, followed by Energy and SK Gaming. And then over on the secondary stream, we've got Cloud9 and Rogue, followed by Splice and Complexity. So, guys, again, I'm going to ask, which one of these gets you going?
NRG and SK, right? I want to see how good NRG is, right? This will be kind of like the litmus test. It also depends on how SK comes out, right? Like SK can come out hot some days and not so other days, and I want them to come out hot. I want it to be NRG playing their best against SK's best.
Well, that's all that we could hope for, I suppose. Anyway, it's about that time where I remind you to head over to ProLeague.com and vote for the Pay Safe Card Plays of the Week. That's right. Get in there, get in the fan vote, get involved. And you know what? I think yeah, we certainly show these on stream. So make sure that you get in there, get active, and just do the right thing by doing what I asked you to do. How about that? That's about how that goes, right? Outside of that, also make sure you grab an Intel chipset today because, believe it or not, these are the fastest ones that you could possibly grab. That's right. I think you get some 18 cores now with the new one, with the new Intel chipset.
I want some. I would like some.
You
It'd
would
be
like,
nice.
you would like an Intel chipset?
I want some in my computer. I want some on my wall just to show people, you know, how awesome.
How advanced you are.
How advanced. I just have CPU chips all over my wall, like wallpaper.
I'm really advanced.
It's just process.
I have semiconductors everywhere lining my house.
It'd be my pickup line.
You could get that green too, like
yeah.
motherboard green. Anyway, before we go down the rabbit hole here, we're going to jump right out of it, and we'll be back tomorrow. So make sure you're here with us at the ESL Pro League.